again for another movie review. Today we're talking about Jersey Boys, the film that was adapted from the Broadway musical smash of the same name and stars pretty much all the people from the musical, and this time it's directed by Clint Eastwood. And for the very few people that I'm sure have never heard of the Jersey Boys play, it follows the real-life story of Frankie Valli and the Four Seasons and their rise and fall, and the movie basically does the same thing except that without musical numbers. It's really just the band playing. There's no one that really breaks out into song. Now, I haven't seen the play Jersey Boys, but I was kind of looking forward to the film because I really like biopics and if they're done well, and I like the rise and fall type of story arcs, and of course Clint Eastwood was directing, and to see him direct a movie like this was something interesting. Unfortunately, I almost did not like this movie at all. I'm going to start off with what I did like though, and that is the music. I think if you are coming to this movie specifically for the music, if you like the music of the Four Seasons, if you like the play, I think you're going to enjoy this movie somewhat because the songs are all there, all the classics, and all the actors that I believe they sang, recorded, I think that's all their voices, are great, and they really sound like the old members of the band. So I think that no one's really going to be disappointed there, and the music is paced nicely throughout the film. And also, pretty much the only star in this movie, Christopher Walken, of course, is a scene stealer. He's not in it much, but he's one of my favorite actors of all time, and I still continue to do awful impressions of him, and he's fantastic here and really brings a sense of gravitas to some of these scenes.
Okay.
Unfortunately, this movie, besides those small things, is really just a mess. It's really one of the worst biopics or rise and fall movies I've seen in a long time for various reasons. To me, one of the most obnoxious choices that this movie made was to have a lot of the characters, or almost all the characters, break the fourth wall at some point, because you'll get a scene and there'll be dialogue talking, and then they'll stop the scene to have the character talk to the audience, giving a brief explanation or giving some thoughts, and it's really unnecessary and doesn't fit. Whenever there was actually a scene that I was into, when they have a character break the fourth wall, it just took me out of it and made it very awkward, and plus just the tone of the film doesn't even seem like it needs it, because you have to have kind of a certain tone, certainly kind of a wacky tone, or not even a wacky tone, but there has to be a specific feel that the movie establishes if you're going to do that, and this movie doesn't really have that, so when they do break the fourth wall, it just feels weird and awkward.
Too bad.
And to be honest, besides Christopher Walken and maybe John Lloyd Young, I believe is the actor's name that plays Frankie Valli in the movie, besides him, I didn't think the acting was all that great. I thought the actor that played Tommy DeVito, who's on Boardwalk Empire, I thought he was good, even though his character was very one note to me. But the guy that played the person Bob that wrote the songs, and also the bass player, just thought they were weak. And that's another thing, is that none of these people in the band, none of the Four Seasons, are really all that interesting. And even Frankie Valli himself, they don't really give him enough stuff to make him break out as a character. Besides that, he's probably the best singer. That's really all he is in the movie, and there's no other real interesting things that sets him apart from these guys. The movie is long. It's about 2 hours and 15 minutes, and it could definitely be cut by a good 15 minutes, I think, because the film could have ended many times, but it then just kept on going. Even after it ended, it kind of had this extended credits scene that really was unnecessary. But I think most of all, what I've heard from everyone that saw the play thought it was just a great fun time where you could, get up and clap and sing and dance and do whatever. And I think, now I'm speaking as someone that hasn't seen the play, but to me maybe one of the biggest cardinal sins, if not the biggest, of this movie is that it's just not fun. There's kind of this dark, gritty tone that the movie kind of has itself, this big ominous lurking presence, which would be fine in some other movies, but in a movie like this, where it's supposed to be kind of fun for most of it, it's just not really there, and that's also, I guess, part of the Clint Eastwood cinematography, which is very drab. Unfortunately, I just left this movie not liking it at all, and even the more I think about it, the more I kind of like it less, and this is definitely probably one of my least favorite Clint Eastwood directorial efforts, and it might be actually one of my least favorite movies that I've seen so far this year. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to give Jersey Boys 1.5 stars out of 5. The songs are great, and there's some good performances here and there, but to me, it's not really worth checking out at all. So that's my review of Jersey Boys. Let me know what you guys saw of the film. The people that I saw it with in a lot of my theater liked it. So I think that if you're going in knowing that you like the play or that you're of a certain age, you might dig it more than I did, but unfortunately I think for anyone else it's not really worth checking out. But if you did like this review, you can subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.
4 guys under a street lamp. First time we made that sound, our sound, that was the best.
Ladies and gentlemen, 4 seasons!